In the first episode, we looked at the idea of the want, have, can triad, and we explored this. If you put it on x axis as want to do, don't want to do, have to do, don't have to do, and then on the z axis, we have can do and cannot do. It is important to point out that we do not want to build things where we arrive at a utopian vision that there is nothing called as have to do. I believe that in over a period of time, in the lifetime of the human being and the civilization, there are a lot of things that will come across to us as have to do. Now, those have to do will create a lot of awkwardnesses, pain, effortfulness. What we need to be constantly looking for is, are there mechanisms that we can create to learn how, over a period of time, the have to do is balanced with want to do? How, over a period of time, some of the have to do can be actually converted into want to do. To give you an example, there was a time when I used to go for summer vacation in village, and we used to go to the well to fetch water, and then now we have water purifier on tap water at home. And I remember that at times when I used to go and fetch water from the well, I used to get annoyed, and I used to feel the same annoyance when I would fill the water from the water purifier. Now, the effort in both the scenarios completely different in texture. If it is just the sheer number of motor movements and calorific burnout, one could say that the well proposition is far more costlier in terms of human effort than the purifier at home on tap option. But over a period of time, when one through meditative contemplative practices is able to see one's own think, feel, say, do, one is able to then apply it in a manner where the have to do actually become interesting propositions. Not always, not everything, but it starts moving. And as it starts moving in that direction, you have emergence of gratitude, you have emergence of learning to live with the ordinary, and also developing insights of seeing the extraordinary in the ordinary. And over a period of time, this becomes adaptive because this then helps one navigate both the want to do and have to do in a very different manner. And in some sense, moving on this path actually also gives spark to a very different kind of creativity and the ability to imagine things at different scales and span. But the subject that we started off with discussing in the episode 1 was that what happens over a period of time is we actually fall for certain narratives outside of us, and we can be working in any models or games, game A or game B, but if over a period of time the structures and the skills, structure is political, economic, social, and skill is individual, if they are not constantly being developed in the service of enabling the individual for developing deeper understanding, a deeper awareness of her, his think, feel, say, do, and its interaction with the political, economic, social outside, then one would continuously keep falling in traps of borrowing from the outside. Even the people who are making sense in a different manner, and let's give them a tag, they're making slightly better sense and more ethical sense of the current environment than the others who are trying to leverage. The challenge is that over a period of time, if there is an over-reliance on them by a lot many people, then one could see that its maladaptive form will spring up in other domains. And it's not difficult to see why it would not happen. For the simple reason that none of the experts and even the ethical experts and the ethical sense-making people can define what to do, when to do, why to do in all scenarios, because the application would actually be in different contexts, and these contexts will keep emerging. It's not a steady state, it's an unsteady state. It's a VUCA environment. There is an emergent property to our civilization, how different parts are interacting with each other and giving rise to non-linear relationships and new things coming up every day. So over a period of time, if there is not a decentralization of intelligent sense making, which is ethical, and wisdom staking, then we would fall under the same trap. At the same time, we should also be careful that the complexity that we find ourselves today, with that sheer number of parts and interconnectedness and interdependencies and so many disciplines trying to make sense of the world, no single person will have the full decentralized intelligence to navigate the outside political, economic, social landscape. So one needs to even look at the meta sense making phenomenon, where over a period of time there will be definitely reliance on other people's sense making and one's own deepening of sense making. Both move has to happen at the same time. However, in the way that this will coordinate one's own sense making and the sense making coming from outside, there will need to be a meta move such that it's adaptive for the civilization and adaptive at other scales of existence, from individual, family, neighborhood, anything, interest groups, causes, and so on.